think there's always a little bit of a divide actually between leadership and rank and file. I think ultimately how the rank and file reacts to this politically and whether there is a political benefit for either President Biden or Donald Trump if he ends up being the Republican nominee. It just depends on how this deal goes down, when there actually is a deal, when this ends, who really got the best of who. If the workers get a good deal out of this, I think that it won't be lost on them that there was President Biden standing literally with them on the picket line. If they feel like that the leadership caved or gave away the store a little bit to appease the big business side of this thing, then they're going to have some consternation and bad feelings about that. So ultimately, the devil's in the details. How this deal goes down is going to really determine who gets the political benefit.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. And to this point, for Republicans at least, or for Donald Trump in particular, is it, as I think Scott Walker was arguing, basically, hey, it's a style for these types of people, or does there need to be some substance? In other words, to go back to, again, what Fain was saying, another headline from The Hill on what Fain said is that we expect actions, not words. Again, I understand he's in leadership, but when he was asked about it more specifically, he says our endorsements are going to be earned. We've been very clear about that, no matter what politician. So the good news for a Republican, if you're listening to that, is that the door is open. Maybe it wasn't before. But how do you earn it? Or do you just rely on style and kind of talking to the middle class, being a man of the people type of candidate? Is that enough, May?
Well, I think the words are not going to match the policies here because there are conflicting interests. So President Biden has been very supportive, both his Department of Justice and litigation and his own policies toward the EV agenda. EVs are union unfriendly. They're very expensive for car companies to make. They don't make a profit. And so some of that requires your labor being affordable, whether that means moving to certain states, capping costs, et cetera. So Biden can't have it both ways. And he can try and message and he can try and say it. But if the union wants to say this is the most union-friendly president of all time, I really do think that means what have you taken, if anything, from your EV push? And if the answer is nothing, I don't know if he's that union.
I think you're onto something there that brings up a kind of a larger point, Kurt, for the president and the challenge he has, because I think what May's saying, and our reporter who's traveling with President Biden today, Kelly Meyer, pointed this out earlier in the hour as well. There's kind of a fine line, because if you're the sitting president, right, and the unions have put you in this position, which I'm sure is what Joe Biden thinks, that whether it was in the Senate or to the White House, that they have been a core constituency of his. Yes, certainly you want to support their cause, but you're the sitting president. And if this strike drags on for a long period of time, you've got an economic problem on your hands. So how do you walk that fine line, Kurt?
Well, I do think that the longer that this goes, the more political perilous it gets for President Biden. That's why I think him showing up today could have an impact if this paves the way for a resolution within a short amount of time. If he shows up today and there's not a resolution for 3, 4, 5 months, well, then there's kind of a diminishing return there, right? It's like, wow, you went there, but nothing happened. Like they said, they want actions, not just words. The symbolism is great. I think it's a good play. I think it looks good for President Biden. I don't think there's any inherent danger there, but you got to have the action to follow up. And so that will ultimately, again, like I said before, if this deal gets done, if this doesn't drag on through the holidays, if the economy doesn't take a big hit, Biden can come out looking like a winner.
Sure.
If nothing happens, he comes out looking powerless.
Of course, because it's all buck stops here. And if these demands are too much, if the union is asking for too much, it's only going to come back and bite the current president, who happens to be a Democrat, has been a big supporter of theirs. So we'll see how it all plays out. Kurt and May, thank you very much. Former legal advisor to President Trump, May Millman, Democratic strategist Kurt Bardella.